Fear no evil. By Ice Star. Celestia prowled the hallways of Camelot Castle, her horn flaring with shimmering golden light, as she breathed in and out, with as much calm as she could manage, growing more nervous by the second. Though her long-time home, Camelot Castle, was no longer the peaceful place it had once been. Even the early light of her sun, dawning over Equestria, having been raised moments before, made the simplest things cause her worry. The stirring of the many motes of dust in the hallways was eerie, the echo of her hooves doubly so. Her reflection in a cobwebbed vase caused her to shudder, shaking a single loose feather to the ground. The discard sliver of white felt like an omen of some kind, at least in her mind. Yet, would it be an omen of victory, or crushing defeat and a life of fear that would follow? She did not know. Perhaps it was too early for such a thing to be divined. Maybe she should wait. No, enough waiting. Could her own strength be trusted? Her heart pounded and sweat formed under her mane. The sound of blood roaring in her ears was the only thing she heard, save for her own nervous hoofsteps. She walked where no pony dared venture, and alone at that. Here she would find no mercy from the wickedness of her who had felled countless others before her, tangling them in the schemes and horrors of the great evil it could unleash, evil that rivaled any she faced before. Discord, her fallen sister, Lord Tyrek, and King Sombra. None could compare to what she was about to face, as cold sweat continued its path, falling down her forehead and shining on her pale coat, now 3 shades paler, with pure terror. This beast lurked in her castle, and nearby no less. It waited, ready to harm yet another poor soul that she should have protected. How many fragile small things had been lost because of this negligence to act? She wondered if things would have turned out differently, if she had simply been more proactive. Were she to have risen from her throne and taken action before so much had been taken and so many lives were lost? Would things have been any different? Fear ran through her mind like water plunges down a chute at high speed. Each thought building up in her mind was something even more frightening than the last. What cruel fate would be in store for her if she continued this quest? The castle walls were abnormally quiet. How long it had been since her home was once a cheerful place. Where was the laughter of ponies and their smiling faces about these halls? She trembled, and with a shaky hoof gingerly pushed a strand of her mane back. The shimmering bit of color felt so out of place in these dark times. Her magic had not yet faltered, but her voice had long since become difficult to use since she set off on this quest. Her throat was dry and tight. She bit into her lip nervously, and her eyes darted around the hallways, searching for any sign of the danger that now stalked her home, acting as though it could claim the territory she had vowed to protect with her life, and bring nothing but harmony too. There were those nagging thoughts again, telling her how much she could amount to if she had simply gotten off her rear so much earlier. Behind her rosy eyes were the flashing images of color and fragile wings, and other features of those who had fallen victim to the foulest beast that had the nerve to walk these same halls with ease and yet dart about in shadows despite its claim. The magical aura of Princess Celestia flared brighter with new resolve. She had to win this fight. She simply had to. The lives of many depended upon it. Her own mind depended on this. Her sanity was hinged on this victory. She would not sleep until this task had been completed and her quest was fulfilled. Revenge was a bitter thing for her, but it was revenge that must be had if Equestria was to know peace again, and she could once again rest and rule her land with ease. Her hoofsteps became more confident. The sound of her gold shoes striking marble rung throughout the belly of the yawning edifice. She shot paranoid looks into every nook and cranny, as the brutal embrace of fear tightened around her heart and squeezed at her mind, breaking it like a glass ornament. Was she right to have any confidence in this at all? Or would things be better if she simply submitted to the havoc and destruction this creature caused? No, she couldn't quit now. The princess had come too far. She had a duty to her subjects. How could she just quit? She couldn't. Once again she had to save Equestria, for herself, for her subjects, and for harmony itself. There would be unmistakable violence born from her actions, but what she did now was fight a one-mare war, and in war this must be so. She had seen it before, had she not? And now, before her, was the shadow of her enemy. It lurked in the distance, waiting for the mighty hoof-falls of the princess goddess Celestia to run up in a foolish craze, most likely. Inhaling deeply, Celestia raised the weapon she had grasped for so long, holding it unbalanced. This had gone on far too long for her to care about technique any more. She ran forward, screaming a berserker's scream, as her hooves pounded the castle floors in a fearless and brazen charge. Her frenzied attack would be known, and it would be loud. She screamed a warrior's cry and raised the proud weapon that would have to suffice against this creature, lest Equestria fall. She brought the broom down on the spider, again and again.